Crypto market is again close to $1.5 trillion. We are moving towards that mark, and the primary question for us is, will XRP join this rally now? Are we about to start moving higher? This is some indications from the price action showing you we haven't yet reached that trend line. One, on a Fibonacci chart, smoothing the curve, but it does show you it's trying to reverse. You're watching price action turning bullish. Price action turning bullish on a daily and on a 3-day chart. So it is slowly trying to bounce higher by making a new trend line, which is having a higher momentum than the last one. So that can push us a 200-300% move. Now, is that the ultimate run? No. We'll actually start by having smaller bounces. We'll actually start with these kind of bounces, because on the other end, the market is moving. There is no doubt about that. You're watching a lot of these coins starting to slowly run higher. We've been going through multiple trades. We know how the market is evolving. We've skimmed some of these positions just earlier today. One of the primary reasons for that is, if you don't understand what's happening in your financial life, the world is not think what it is, especially when the banks are getting to that verge and going for that. You're watching how the volume is evolving in one exchange. This is just one exchange. So if you look at that, that's a massive shift in volume. So where is this money coming from? Where is this actually going? You just have to be on that path, because if you understand what happened last time and what's happening now, you have a massive opportunity in front of you. This is what happened during that phase, and crypto market went up. So what do you think is going to happen at this particular moment when you're getting the exact same idea from the market? You're making a base here, which is while you're trending higher. So the next burst is coming soon. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Now, remember, we've been following through all this, right? Say super, it's up 200% earlier today. And I'm like, whoa, that's a good run. Now, we've been following that through. We've been giving you the targets. Now, don't try chasing those green candles. It won't end well, because you are reaching some of these resistance levels. And if you actually go look at that particular asset, you need to keep your mind focused on not jumping to catch these green candles, but entering there before a lot of other people do. Because if you don't do that, what will happen is, like, you will get trapped there. Because if you are following this, you are right now looking at, okay, this is an opportunity. You can first ride it to the upside, and if that breaks to the upside, that's when you get the biggest pop. We followed it up. We gave you guys the right idea. That's why SI family is growing so quickly. That's why SI family is still retaining all these members, because they are going through what the market is showing you on real time. Now, when you come onto the market in the first 100, focus on this. You're watching different set of assets starting to move up. You have interoperability layer, you have the AI, you have the gaming, you have the smart contract. So money is moving, there is no doubt. And this time around, it's not just being focused on one industry. We're watching at least two industries, two segments in the market getting that money inflow, which is positive. That means you're going to ride these assets. Say, we've been calling out for this one, say ILV. We had our breakout call at what, 95, 96 somewhere. That was the recent one. Before that, we had it at the bottom. We rode it till the top. So when the market gives you these opportunities, I would say look for it. You can find it. It's not a big deal. If you take your time, stay with the basics, you can still hold on to these gains. Now, what about XRP? That's the primary question. Now, we've been going through in and out of these charts, so you already know what we're doing here. What we're expecting here is a move to the upside. We have a 3-day close and a daily close here, and we are also watching for something special. What is it? Our weekly close coming soon. Our weekly close is just coming so close. So in next 24 hours, we'll actually get a weekly close. So Bitcoin showing you this possibility is not actually a bad thing. So now if we actually slowly zoom in on Bitcoin itself, we're still watching something which is actually like, okay, we're in this range on a daily chart. This is what we are watching. This is the resistance. This is turning in as a support level, which is kind of showing you that, okay, it's great. It's not actually a bad thing. You're ranging inside this. But will we respect this trend line and bounce back up? That's something which we'll have to focus on. Now, as you zoom in, you also get a narrative of understanding that the market has something more going on. So this was like that range where you had all these wicks to the downside and then your fake out. So if you follow this, you can either put the perspective like, okay, we have some more volatility, we're coming back down, and then we'll go back up. Or you can actually think about this like, okay, the 1, the 2, the 3 is over. We followed it up till that point when we were here. We told that's a possibility. Right now, we're coming back down for a corrective move, which means we would find a new support in this range, which can be an ABC pattern, and then start going back up without coming to this downside support. That would actually turn in a lot of positivity in the market. Now, for that, if you're trading altcoins, you're watching this. You're closely watching this. If this is getting rejected at this level, say it is super bullish for the altcoins, because on a daily chart, this is what you're watching. You're breaking below the moving average. If you bounce back up, okay, Bitcoin is going to steal the show. It's going to ride, and those coins which are highly correlated with Bitcoin, they will ride higher. Others will be slowed down. We all know how the weekly closed for the dollar. It's still here. We all understand how gold closed. So there is a shift in movement of money. So you need to understand where the money is flowing, which direction it's actually moving towards. And if you align yourself in that direction, the market will favor you. If you actually go against it, good luck. But now we all understand that market is not going to wait for us. Market is not going to wait for us. If you actually take a look at multiple assets in different industry, you'll actually understand this. Say within crypto, if you're looking at, say for example, AI, now you're actually looking at multiple assets and you get to see something. What is that? They have the accumulation range, they broke higher, they retested and bounced. But yes, on a macro, that's just a retest, that's just a ride up. But if you were in there during that time, that's a 40% downside. So if you are highly levered, 10, 20, 30, 40x, even if your direction is true, even if your analysis is correct, the market will kick you out and then go back up. That's why I say you need discipline. Extra discipline. If you are that one guy who entered here and you're lucky to be here, where your stop loss is here, fine. Ride it till the top on a weekly chart. If the weekly is now coming out and saying, okay, I have some kind of divergence for you, like this is clear example for that. Get out. Fine. At that point, there is no doubt, there is no argument. Right now, it's not showing you that. Okay, it may actually go down and then go up, or it may first go down and then make this. No one is disputing that fact. But for that to become a divergence, it means the price should go like this and then come back down. So that still gives you a room to the upside, right? So if your average is here, you bottom here during this accumulation, we call this out for the breakout, right? Just like we called out here, we had our calls here. Now we are positioned in. So while you say this, I understand it's going to be just a retest and a bounce. So that's AI segment. Now we go look at the, say for example, the gaming side of it. You're looking at something and saying like, whoa, that's just getting started, which is actually attractive in the market, because when you observe this, whoa, we broke higher and we are trying to push higher. Now it's like, okay, we haven't yet reached that overbought territory. So personally, I believe that's where the explosive movements come in. As soon as you enter that overbought territory, boom, the price starts popping. So crypto market is an exceptional opportunity zone right now. That's exactly why we're going through all these charts one by one to give you guys the right update. So if you want to join the 730 plus members to take benefit of that, you can look at the Patreon. The link is in the description below in YouTube, and in Twitter, it's in the bio. So now, if you haven't hit that like button yet, please do that. I'm watching a lot of people are hitting that. Thank you for each and everyone who's actually smashing those like buttons, which is way more than the actual viewers in comparison to other YouTubers in XRP community. So now, jumping back. Now, if you take the same perspective back to say a highly correlated asset like XLM, what are we really watching? This is something you need to actually ask yourself. Are we actually going lower? Are we going higher? What's the actual movement like? If you go back in history and look at this, to put that argument, just the argument, okay, you have this, we broke higher, we came back, we're going up, we understand that. But does the RSI agree with you? Does the MACD agree with you? I think yes, they do. Now, what does that actually mean? If this is that time we are getting closer to that retest and our bounce, that is an opportunity zone. See, if we just repeat the history, this is something like you're being extra conservative as much as possible, and you say, okay, this is going to be somewhat like a 12x rally. Sorry for that. Okay, a 12x rally, and you plot that and say, okay, we're looking at $1.4. In wave 2, that usually is 3 to 4 times on minimum towards 5, 6, 7 times on the average. So that means you have an extra upside here. Until you get a divergence, you can ride this. The difference is this time around, there is a lot of capital coming into the market. So highly correlated assets are showing you something which you should not neglect, the macro pattern. If that macro pattern gives you a go, you should think about it. That's what we are doing. So if we are repeating history, you have an opportunity. And it is easily identifiable that we are repeating that part of the history. So if you are new in the crypto market, you just came into the crypto market, consider yourself lucky. A lot of us went through this phase and this phase where it was not easy to hold on to your assets. We sold here some and we bought back as we were coming back. But we never expected the Terra Luna collapsing in the entire market. Yeah, we thought Luna is going to go down, but we never thought it's going to pull all these other crypto to the downside. So right now, those who use this time frame to accumulate have a better edge in the market. Now, think about that 3-day chart which we were focusing on. Here we are trying to focus on that, and we are like, okay, this is where we are coming back down. We've talked about this. If we are bouncing off from this trend line, what does that exactly mean? What have we done historically when we bounce off from that trend line? That is a move to the upside, basically. So for me, I'm becoming extra bullish on this asset as the day goes by, because we are literally performing some rituals in the price action, which actually looks exactly like we are following the history. There is no other way to actually put this, right? So we actually look at this on the daily, on a 3-day, on a weekly. We're like, okay, we are doing something like this. That kind of gives you a lot of opportunities. That wick to the downside here, the fake out, that's exactly what's happening. And if that's true and we're not dropping like hell, then the next leg is about to start. But yeah, for sure, unless we see price going above $1, a lot of people will have hard time agreeing on this asset can go up. They'll neglect the fact that price action is doing something like this. They'll neglect the fact the ROI for this pattern is exceptionally high. If you are focusing on something great for you, watch. This is going to break to the upside. Watch. That first target is going to stay way higher. It won't actually wait for me, you, and others. It will start rolling. So that's like a $10 mark just for this particular pattern on a mid-level. I'm not being a guy who's taking extra conservative target like 150% for the micro move, or I'm not even taking this peak of 30. I'm just being the average. Okay, what's the average fluctuation? Now, we all know when we start doing that, we usually go way above the measured move. See, just to put this into perspective, if you're actually watching what happened back in the history, we are kind of looking at this and we are actually putting the argument like, okay, we understand that XRP kind of do these stuff every now and then. So what was the ROI back then? The first move here was showing you 30x, whereas the average fluctuation was showing you somewhere around 855% move. Now, look at what the price action actually did. It did twice the biggest one. Now, I'm not trying to hype things up. I'm just showing you what we have seen historically. That means even if you say, okay, we are only getting at the midpoint, we are only getting like 10x, 12x, it can be double that, triple that. But if you look at this in a different way, saying I'm optimistic about this asset, now you're plotting this, or you're actually extending this all the way down, saying this is support. I agree, this is support resistance range. So you can plot this and put your argument saying that's a 50x to the upside. So when the price goes up, and sometime it will feel, at some point it will feel like, okay, the price is going nuts, it doesn't make some argument, we are getting priced in on almost every news narrative, take your profits, right? Follow the big money at that time, you can take the profits at the right time. So if you follow the SI family, you get the updates. When I take profit, where I think there is a red flag, you get the information on the right moment. So guys, before we leave, smash that like button for me if you haven't done that already. I'll meet you guys on next video. Bye for now.